Welcome back, Mr. Witness. You may kindly take your seat.
Okay.
Mr. Witness, for continuation of your testimony before this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters, may I remind you that you are still under oath before I hand you over to Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I hand over the witness for us to proceed.
Mr. Kanye, you're welcome back.
Thank you.
Council, can we proceed?
Mr. Kanye, we were still discussing the issue regarding the fuel allocation that you receive as a dump site manager on a contract. And I had read to you that the amount you receive for fuel is about $672,950 worth of fuel. And this is between the period 16th of January to 26th of March 2019. Just for 3 months. You recall this?
Well, I know we've been using the fuel
Yes.
on the machines within that period. Yes.
Please speak into the microphone.
I said I can remember using fuel on the
Yes.
machines between that period, yes. But the amount, I don't calculate it. I will do it day by day, and if it's accumulated to 600,
Yes.
so be it. It's true.
Now, how often do you use these bulldozers at the dump sites? Every day?
Whenever I see it, yes, sometime every day, sometime not every day.
Now tell us. Now you're here. You can tell us as a dump site manager how you were using these bulldozers.
As I see it fit, but
And-
I cannot tell you I use it 10 days in a month, 3 days in a week, 5 days.
You don't have record of that?
No, I don't have any record.
Why is that?
I don't keep records.
So when they give you fuel, there are no records as to how many times you have fueled these bulldozers to use them for dressing at the dump site?
Well, the council will have their records because they will issue it to me and tell me this is for this period.
They will have the record for what was issued to you.
Yes,
And we have that.
yes,
And that's what I've told you.
yes.
That in 3 months, your fuel that you have signed for and received is the amount 672,950.
Yes,
And so when you have this fuel, you will be able to be in a position to tell or account for it as to how you were using it.
I think I've explained part of it to you,
Yes.
that these machines cannot go to a fueling pump station.
Yes.
We take it in drums,
Yes.
20-liter drums, put it for a day's work.
Yes.
If it finishes the day's work, the following day, the supply will come for that particular day.
Do you dress this dump site every day?
Almost, yes. At that time, Bakote Dome site has been left for fire for almost every day.
Yeah.
And to mitigate that fire occurrence, you have to dress the new one and the old parts.
And how much of a fuel would you use per day?
It depends on the machine. If it is working 8 hours, I don't know, but we always estimate nothing less than 80 liters. That's what I was informed.
Nothing less than 80.
80 liters.
So, Mr. Khan, you don't have records of how many times you have used this bulldozer in a month or in a week? You don't have record of how you have spent this fuel?
No. To tell you the truth, I do not have any record.
Why is that?
I use it as they come and as the need arises.
But it's not personal. It's what you are given does not belong to you.
That's why I never take the fuel to my house.
But you can't account for it. And if you can't account for it, like for instance, if you see the amount of fuel you consume in 3 months, and we divided that by 3, it will be $224,316.6 or 0.7.
Yes. If you know,
That's a month.
yes, if you know the consumption rate
Yes,
of the bulldozer, which you can easily have,
yes,
and tell you how. Because I particularly, I was only told I
Yes.
cannot use this machine less than 80 liters
yes,
to be in the machine. So
Yes.
my worry is they can give me 120, 150,
Yes.
100 liters. Let it have enough fuel
yes,
to keep the machine. Because when I was given the machine,
yes,
that was vividly told.
yes,
I was standing when somebody with
Yes.
authority told me
Yes.
categorically,
yes,
KMC's problem is fueling.
yes,
And this machine, if they don't have fuel
yes,
enough,
yes.
they will not, there will be a damage.
You will realize that that's not the issue here.
What is the issue?
Good. You will realize that what you are saying is not relevant to my questioning. My line of questioning is not whether in fact the machines should use 700 liters or not. It may be that it has to use more than 80 liters. That's not the issue. The issue is accountability. So we have to be within the perimeters of accountability. That what is given to you must be accounted. It has to be accounted for.
I think you have already answered that to yourself. The KMC hand over this. Me, I was just a carrier bag.
Let me rephrase. The accountability on the side of KMC is that you have been given this amount or what of fuel. It's on record. We have that. Now, how they fail to supervise you in accounting for how you spent or use this fuel, they will come and they will have to testify here. But as the consultant, as the person in charge, you have a degree or responsibility to account for public funds. And it is along those lines that I am asking you questions.
Yes, along the same line,
Yes.
I'm answering. If a fuel is not inside a vehicle or
Yes.
anywhere, it's in a drum, transport to me to the dump site in the front of everybody.
Yes,
Be it the driver, the security officers
Yes.
of KMC on site. I don't take one drum and say, no, this is for my vehicle, because my vehicle doesn't use gasoline.
yes,
So it is for the bulldozers, and I put all of them in the bulldozer, period.
yes. It's not period, because once you've done that, then you should be able to account for that. You should be able to be in the position to say, in this period, D8 did not consume so and so and so amount of fuel. You have supplied us this amount of fuel, and this is how it is being used.
They know how, because they know I put it in the machine. If not, the machine will not work.
So, when I ask you whether you have records of how you spend this fuel, will the answer be no?
If you ask me,
Whether you have records of how you spend this amount of money for fuel, would the answer be no?
you asked that, and I said I do not.
You don't. And for how long have you been at the dump site?
I cannot remember. I've been there for different occasions on different times.
You can't remember
No,
how long you have served at the dump site?
I cannot remember.
Okay,
I'm still there, but in a different.
Let me now show you some. Unless there are questions regarding the dump site.
Yes, let me just ask. Mr. Kanye, as at now, how many, do you have any bulldozers? Is D8, D9 working?
Unfortunately, the D8 which is there is not working. The D9, when they were all repaired, working, was taken away.
What?
The D9 was taken away.
Okay. And is it sold or it is just removed from the dump site?
It was just removed
From the dump site.
from the dump site.
Now, for now, is D8 you are using at the dump site?
No, we are not using the D8 because that D8 was the one that I refused to pay the Senegalese mechanic because he had a problem. He said he never expected. And I said, but I told you to go and check. And if you check it and it's not working, you tell me what is the part needed. That's why I gave you the contract in the first place. And if you do not have it, then you cannot make it. That's not my business. I cannot go back to Senegal. I cannot go back to K.M.C. to request any more money for this because you and I all know we were told to check the machines and repair them.
So if I can get you, when the D8 and D9 came back, the D8 was not working?
No,
It did not work.
D8 did not work.
So this was in 2022?
I think so. I
It
can't
was-
remember. I was on holidays
Yeah.
and I was informed that they came to take the D9.
Okay, so
But I knew who took it.
okay. So now for the D8, is it 2019 it stopped working or 2020?
Madam, you'll excuse me when you put in timeline.
Yeah.
I will vividly not remember.
You will not remember.
I will not.
No, now can you remember when you came back from Dakar?
I cannot.
You cannot remember.
No.
Okay, we will be able to ascertain that because it's in the invoices. So for now, you have to be renting to dress the.
Exactly.
Yes. So how much do you rent per bulldozer?
I am not privileged to know about it until 6 months later. They had a contract with another company. That time my contract finished, and that private contractor hired me as a dump site manager.
So how much are they paying for bulldozer per day?
Per day, I don't know, but they gave us 10 days dressing
Yes.
of the dump site
And how much is the total?
and mitigation of fire,
Okay.
600,000
For 10 days.
for 1 month.
For 1 month, 600,000.
Yes.
So
because-
if you have to dress the dump site for a month,
no,
that's-
I don't use a month. I
Okay.
use
10 days.
that bulldozer for 10 days and any other eventuality, i.e. fire or truck stuck in the mud to remove them.
So if I can get you, you said in a month they pay you 600,000, right?
Yes.
And this is minus fuel, right?
There is no fuel. It's including fuel.
This 600,000 includes fuel.
Yeah, this is the contract. We, the company who took up this contract,
Yes.
fuel its own machines for 10 days.
Okay, so the company that took over now to be dealing with the dressing of they buy their own fuel.
They buy their own fuel.
So you are
They
not
pay
there.
the mechanics. They pay me. They pay the mechanics.
Okay.
My reason of being there to be paid is the fire component of the contract.
All right. So we can safely say that from 2019, 2020. When did you start working for the company?
I think today is the 6th month.
Okay. Council, you may proceed.
Thank you. Mr. Kany,
Yes.
you were paid as a consultant for your services at the dump site, correct?
Yes.
How much?
I remember 30,000 every quarter.
Every quarter.
Yeah.
Are you sure that is the amount?
Huh?
In your statement, let me read. You said, in addition, there is a 3rd July 2004 additional statement. On the issue of telephone allowance, I confirm that I had a consultancy contractual agreement with K.M.C.
Yes.
During the period under review, according to the consultancy agreement, K.M.C. was to pay me dump site allowance
Yes.
of $30,000, consultancy fee of $35,000, and telephone allowance of $15,000, which cumulatively amounting to $80,000 in every quarter.
Every quarter.
So every quarter you are being paid $80,000. The first issue is, what is the difference between dump site allowance and consultancy fee?
Dump site allowance is anybody who works at the dump site.
No,
receive-
your contract.
Yes,
Let's limit
that's
ourselves
what
to-
I'm saying.
Yes.
It is applicable to everybody.
Let's now limit the applicability to you.
No, let me just finish this point.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Everybody working at the dump site, be
Yes.
it driver or anybody, are
Yes.
given dump site allowance because of the harsh condition of the dump site
Okay,
and for health reasons.
all right. Is that all?
Yes?
Now let's now limit it back to you, Mr. Mustapha Kani.
Yes.
Your payment, the monies you will receive for your consultancy services is divided into the following. I'm going by your statement. It says, according to the consultancy agreement, KMC was to pay you
Yes.
dump site allowance of $30,000.
Yes.
They will still pay you consultancy fee
Oh.
of $35,000
Yes.
and a telephone allowance
Yes.
of $15,000.
Yes. Yes.
And this is different from the $1,500 you receive every month. Huh?
Yes.
So altogether, for every quarter, you are receiving $80,000.
Yes.
I am now asking you, based on your this payment modalities, what would be the difference between your consultancy fee of $35,000 and your dump site allowance of $30,000? Why have these two?
Because of the site I work. If I work ordinary on other side, I will not be given that.
So what is the
Putting,
consultancy fee then for?
it's because of the work I do Monday to Sunday.
That's the issue. The two are the same.
They may not be the same.
May?
Yes,
It's a probability.
because I have health issues and everybody has a potential health hazard
Yes.
in that place.
Yes.
That is different from working on an environment
Yes.
of your type.
Yes.
My type, where I work at the dump site,
Yes.
is quite different.
Mr. Kanjura,
Yes,
you, Mr. Kani,
yes,
Mustapha Kanjura, Kani,
yes.
you have to justify.
I put my,
Hear me out. You have to justify why these payments. To me, it seems fraudulent. Because the two, as far as I am concerned, are one and the same. You have a consultancy, you have a telephone allowance of $15,000. Outrageous amount, to tell you the truth. Outrageous amount. It appears as if you have been given money for free. The other allowance you have is $30,000 for dump site allowance. Your other allowance is $35,000 for consultancy fee.
I think you are spicing up the entire business.
Yes.
Don't
You know why?
spice-
You know why?
No,
Do you-
let's be realistic.
Hear me out. Do you know why? Hear
Let's
me
be
out. No,
realistic, Mr.
Sorry, can we have deco, please?
Mr.
Can we have deco,
You have-
please? Sorry, can we have the questions and answer so that we can follow, because
Exactly.
Mr. Kanye, can you take a moment? The facts that have been read to you
Yes.
are read to you from your statement,
Yes.
right? And it's not facts that he is conjuring up and putting to you. Is that
No.
correct?
No, I'm not saying that.
No. I am just trying to clear the air.
Good.
These are facts that are contained in your statement, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So he is putting the facts to you, and he is putting his analysis to you. You understand? If what he is saying you don't agree, you tell him, I don't agree with how you are analyzing the facts.
That's what I said.
So you just allow him to finish, and then you can tell him you don't agree with his position.
Okay.
We can take that because it's your evidence.
Yes.
You have provided something on paper,
Yes.
and he is trying to put across the information to you for us to understand it in a better light, right? Because he has an understanding of the 30,000 and the 35,000. He is thinking, his line of thinking is that it's one and the same. So it is for you to explain, for us to understand, it cannot be one and the same. These are the reasons as to why it is not one and the same.
I agree.
Yes,
Can I answer?
and then it will make us understand your own perspective.
Chair
Right?
lady, Chair
Right?
lady,
Yes.
the way the question is put is not my problem.
Yes.
If an opinion is set on issues that is 3 months, that 30,000 is not for month. It's for 3 months.
So exactly what I am saying.
And
it is
that's
no,
why I said to him, you are spicing it up as
no,
if
can you please withdraw that statement?
to
Because yes,
that-
the issue of spicing up. Can you withdraw that statement?
why?
Because what you said in your paper, that is what he read to you.
Yes.
You did not indicate
I did,
that.
I
hang
did
on.
indicate
It
3
is-
months in quarter. I did,
Yes.
yes, quarterly.
So
And
he
he's
did not.
combining it as 1 month. And I'm saying it's not. It's a spicing up.
Mr. Kani,
Yes.
I believe that I do not want to make any orders. Can we stick to the questions and answer them?
I will.
Thank you. You can proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Mr. Kanyi, let me read what I have in your statement. And we may ask that do you have a copy of your statement?
I have it. Don't worry. Just
Mr. Kanyi, the statement starts the 3rd of July 2024. The statement was signed by you. It is admitted in evidence. It says, in addition, on the issue of telephone allowance, I confirm that I had a consultancy contractual agreement with K.M.C. during the period under review. According to the consultancy agreement, K.M.C. was to pay me dump site allowance of $30,000, consultancy fee of $35,000, and telephone allowance of $15,000, which cumulatively amounting to $80,000 in every quarter. I said this.
every quarter.
I read this.
Yes.
No, hear me out. I said this and I read this before.
Yes.
I'm reading it again.
Yes.
Now, my question is, you have an allowance of $30,000 for classified as dump site allowance. And then you have another fee of $35,000 classified as consultancy fee. Are the two not one and the same?
I don't believe so.
Can you explain to the commission as to why they are different?
Okay. I set my consultancy work for K.M.C. and outlined this to be paid to me. I did not force the K.M.C. to agree or to disagree. If they want to hire me, let them have me. If they don't want to hire me, then I go and rest.
Is that your answer?
Yes?
Now, that was not my question. My question is, when KMC sits where you are sitting, they will also have to answer the reasoning behind paying these monies. My question is, are the two allowances different? Dump site allowance and consultancy fee, are the two very different? If the answer is yes, then tell the commission how they are different.
They are different. This is my work I am doing and the place I'm working.
Yes.
These are the two reasons,
You're-
which you know. If I don't work for KMC, or if I work for KMC
Yes.
in a different place, they will not pay me dump site allowance. The dump site allowance is only paid if I work in the dump site.
Yes.
This one is my consultancy fee.
And what is your consultancy about?
Exactly. That one is about making sure
Yes.
the dump site is looked after properly and all laws and initiative to improve the service at the site.
Yes. So your workplace and your dump site allowance is one and the same.
I disagree. The dump site allowance
Yes.
is an allowance because I work in the dump site.
Yes.
My consultancy, I can be working somewhere else, and they should still pay me my consultancy.
You can be working somewhere else. Now let me show you a copy of your appointment on contract dated the 14th of January 2021. And we go through it. Just go through this copy. Do you recognize that contract?
Yes, I think I can.
What is that contract about? Is that your contract you have with KMC for the issue of your consultancy for the dump site?
Yes.
Do you object for it to be admitted into evidence?
No.
We apply to tender an appointment on contract to the witness, Mustapha. The date is 14th of January 2021 from Kanifi Municipal Council into evidence as an exhibit. The document is signed by Dembo Ja for the CEO of Kanifi Municipal Council.
A letter dated the 14th of January 2021 addressed to Mustapha, debt recovery consultant, with the subject, with reference KMC/HR/001, with the subject appointment of contract. The letter is signed by Demboja for Chief Executive Officer. It is copied to the Lord Mayor, Kanifi Municipal Council, Establishment and Appointment Committee, Director of Services, Director of Finance, Director of Audit, IT Manager, and Executive Secretary. The letter is admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/KMK/KMC/002.
Ask the commission, please. We are grateful, Mr. Chairperson. Now, this is your appointment on contract for the year 2021. Now, let's go through it. It says, as per the Establishment and Appointment Committee's decision on the 7th of January, I'm pleased to inform you that you have been offered appointment on contract as dump site consultant for a period of 1 year, effective 1st January 2021 to 31st of December 2021. You shall be paid a quarterly installment of $80,000 only. Now it says the breakdown is outlined as follows. You have telephone allowance, $15,000. Dump site allowance, $30,000. And consultancy fees, $35,000. Do you see that?
Yes.
Now, let's look at the nature of your consultancy. It says the conditions attached to the consultancy service can be outlined as follows. The first we have is responsible for the management of the backwater dump site.
Yeah.
Develop and implement policies for the management of the dump site. Have you done that?
No.
Why?
I did not make any writing.
Why?
I already know what I am supposed to be
No.
doing.
Mr. Kanji, you're supposed to put it down.
I did not.
Why? Is there any reason?
There is no reason. I did not do it. I did not fit it to be done.
Do you think it was right to not do it?
No, I don't know. I did not just do it.
You are a consultant.
Yes.
We treat you as a consultant now,
To
Mr. Kanji.
improve my consultancy
Yes.
is to improve the condition
Yes.
of my consultancy
Yes.
to the person who employed me.
Now, would it not be fair to just go to ask you questions based on your agreement, your TOR, your responsibilities as a consultant? Do you think it's fair enough to go by what your job description is supposed to be?
I already knew my job description when they gave me this, and I know what I am doing.
Absolutely, that's why you agreed to it. And so you would not develop any and implement any policies for the management of the dump site.
I developed it in my head at the dump site, on site.
On site.
Yes. I
Mr.
don't need to write it because, one, I will make sure no kids come to that dump site for either us working under child labor,
Yes.
which is my most important one, or the people coming inside are wearing suitable wares.
So
to
you
get
do not
into
owe.
that. I don't need to write that.
So you do not owe any form of written document in relation to implement policies for your employer?
No.
There's no
because
need to do that.
My employer knows exactly what he wants and what I think.
I
is
have no
right.
doubt.
Yes.
No, I have no doubt, Mr. Kanyi.
Yes.
The other is mobilizing resources for the implementation of the policies. You've done that?
Mobilization of resources. Maybe the only resources I mobilize is human resources.
You were
to
paid
come.
$35,000
Yes.
and another $30,000.
Yes.
Another $15,000.
Yes.
$80,000
Yes.
in every quarter.
Yes.
And you want to tell us that because you think you can do this job in your head and that's it, you don't have to go by the agreement?
If I can do it practically on the ground and effectively, I don't think there's any trouble in that.
Do you not think you should have put that on paper dispute the fact, hear me out, to dispute the fact that you don't have to do this?
I don't think there is any paper that will do the trick. I know.
The next one says solicit partnership to manage the dump site, backward dump site. Have you done this?
I did not do any soliciting.
Okay. Were you allocated a vehicle?
I had, yes,
And you were given fuel?
yes,
You were given all these benefits
yes,
and you don't perform your functions?
no. That's definitely wrong. I work 8 days or 7 days in a week.
No evidence of that,
Yes,
Mr. Kani?
but the people who employed me all knew I work Monday to Sunday.
Yes.
So that's more important to me than writing on a paper.
Absolutely.
That will gather dust in the files.
Absolutely, Mr. Kani. Mr. Kani, what you have said makes sense. It means your employer did not do a background check on you, did not, or was not fair to the public to know that you are not qualified for this job, but they still paid you handsomely for this job.
Still your opinion.
Absolutely, which carries weight. But then you were also given, in addition to the amount of money you were paid, you were given honorarium. Honorarium. Let me read in your statement. You said, I was employed, the second paragraph, I was employed, similarly, I was employed by K.M.C as domicile manager, receiving a call allowance payment. I also paid honorarium, I was also paid honorarium of $60,000 and $50,000 in 2021. Why was that?
I don't know about the amounts, whether I did any other job for them to achieve this honorarium.
Yes.
But I know
Yes.
I was given the money and I have it.
No. But why would you be giving the money if you're already been paid?
I wouldn't know the details. At the time you have to understand, Council,
Yes.
I cannot remember all these payments or other things.
Then don't do the job.
That's not you who should say that.
Yes.
No.
Mr. Kani, if you are not in a position
You
to hear me out,
you
hear
don't
me,
know
hear me,
my
hear me out.
input.
Hear me
you
out.
cannot say that. It's
Hear
an
me out.
opinion.
Will you hear me out?
I will.
Good. If you cannot do the job, or you cannot remember when you are to remember, if you can't remember very important details of monies paid to you, you cannot remember accountability, but you can remember taking money, receiving money, that you can remember, then you should not have been given this job.
Is that a question?
Yes.
I think you are just expressing your personal opinion, but the people who employed me do not know me. I have no relationship with any one of them, but they know my performance and they are paying me accordingly.
What service did you do to be able to guarantee or for you to be paid this amount of money, $60,000 and $50,000?
I prevent fire for the first time 3 years in the dorm site.
You are paid for that? You are a consultant?
And that payment can be even more than, double the more than this, because I saved the council.
Let me agree with that.
I saved the council millions and millions of dollars.
Do you have evidence of that?
I have it.
Where is
You did not ask me how did these bulldozers came in and who brought them in.
No, Mr.
So the result of my this thing, I can have evidence. Ask anybody, there had never been one single fire incident because of my foresight thinking and putting laws that is enforced on the ground to make sure, one, nobody goes into that dorm site with cigarette.
Mr. Kani, let me ask you the questions I want to ask you.
Yes, I'll answer the question you asked.
I will be very grateful. The questions that you want me to ask you, I may ask you, I may not ask you.
I don't need it.
All right. So now, did you put up a request for an honorarium?
Honorarium request?
Yes.
I cannot remember it.
You can't remember putting up a request for an honorarium?
No.
Now, I'm telling you that you wrote a request for an honorarium.
Yes. And
There was a request written for
Yes.
an honorarium. Who is Anta Suso?
Who?
Anta Suso. Do you recall Anta Suso?
Anta.
Yes.
No, not my recollection.
You can't recall who Anta Suso is?
No.
Now, Anta Suso wrote a request requesting for you to be paid $50,000.
Anta Suso.
Yes. And let me show you.
I cannot remember.
Let me show you a voucher regarding payment of $50,000 to you. Please go through that voucher. It is your first payment of $50,000 by way of honorarium. Do you recognize that voucher?
Yes,
What is that voucher about?
that's about fire incidents were very, very frequent at the time.
Yes.
And they decide, because I have worked so much hard to prevent the fire,
Yes.
and I request for this.
And you request for the honorarium.
Yes.
Let me have that voucher. Is there anywhere in the voucher that they talk about fire incident?
Where?
Is there anywhere in that voucher or the supporting documents that it refer to a fire incident?
Yes, I can see it. In fact, that's the reason why I quote it.
That is your activity report? Sir?
I don't know how you call it. I just,
No. Let me
Yes.
ask you. No, you go back and read it. You will tell me.
I think it's activity.
No. We will give you the voucher. And let me ask the question again. Is that your activity report?
Yes, this is my activity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kanye.
Thank you,
Yes.
Council.
Were you providing reports? Mr. Kanye?
I'm not very much sure, but I do it when I think it's necessary.
Or you just do it when you want to request for money?
Yes, exactly.
We apply to tender the payment voucher. The number is K.M.C. PV21001497. The date of the voucher is 15th of October 2021 with its necessary supporting documents. There is accompanying the voucher a request for honorarium signed by Antasuso, a letter from the dumpsite manager to the Director of Services and Chief Executive Officer. The heading is, the subject is activity report from the backward dump site, July to September 2021. Signed by Mustapha Kani. We apply to have these documents admitted into evidence as exhibit. There are two vouchers. The first is dated the 15th of October 2021. The second one on the 8th of June 2021 for an amount of $60,000. All into evidence as an exhibit.
a voucher dated the 15th of October 2021 with voucher number K.M.C. stroke PV 21001497. Payee's name Mustapha Kanyi. The voucher is attached to the voucher is a memo that is dated the 15th of October 2021. It emanated from the Human Resource Assistant to addressed to the Chief Executive Officer through the Director of Services, and the subject is request for honorarium. It is signed by Antasuso. Attached to this earlier stated memo is another memo dated the 14th of October 2021, which is from the dump site manager, and it was addressed to the Director of Services and copied to the Chief Executive Officer with the subject activity report from the Bakote dump site covering July to September 2021. The report is signed by Mustapha Kanyi. A payment voucher dated the 8th of June 2021. The payee is Mustapha Kanyi, and the description is Mayor's Office Honorarium. And attached to this voucher is a memo dated the 1st of June 2021. It emanated from the dump site consultant. It is addressed to the Lord Mayor, and it is copied to the Chief Executive Officer, Director of Services. And it has reference BEW 119/142/01 with the subject request for honorarium. It is signed by Mustapha Kanyi. And attached to that, to the said earlier memo, is the memo dated the 5th of May 2021. It emanated from the dump site manager, and it is addressed to the Director of Services, and it is copied to the Lord Mayor and the Chief Executive Officer with reference BEW 51/53/01 in bracket 16 with the subject activity report from the Bakote dump site from the period February to April 2021. These documents are all admitted in a bundle as an exhibit in evidence, and they are marked as LGC/KMK/KMC/003.
As the Commission, please. Now, do you have these allowances? How often do you have these honorariums?
I cannot remember, but I think it's 3-month periods, I think.
Every 3 months?
Huh?
You mean every 3 months?
Every 3 months if there is no fire.
You'll have honorarium?
Yes.
Of how much?
It depends what agreement we had at the time.
Do you have these agreements in writing?
No.
One of the vouchers, the $60,000, if you look at it and you go through the request for honorarium, it is written by you, Mr. Mustapha Kanyi, and signed. I would ask that you be given the copy. It's written and addressed to the Lord Mayor's office.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Yeah, it may be correct.
Your request, you just look at the...
Yes.
Yes, you will see a memo, Kanipin Municipal Council memo, from dump site consultant, addressed to the Lord Mayor's office. Do you see that?
The request for the honorarium.
Yes.
The one I see is addressed to to the Chief Executive Officer.
The CEO. Let me see the one you have, please. Okay, this one is on the 15th of October 2021. It is the one for the $60,000. It is the second, the honorarium for $60,000. The date is 1st of June 2021. Please confirm, and we proceed from there. You've seen that, sir?
I have seen it, yes, and I think it was just an error because I know he doesn't.
What is an error?
The writing to the Lord Mayor, because all my requests will not, in natural fact, Mayor doesn't do anything with it other than direct you to send it to the right person.
To tell you, that is not the issue.
I don't know what else. That's my opinion, and that's whatever you said too may be yours.
Let me, Mr. Kanye, you are here to answer questions.
Yes, but
No, hear me out. It's very important. You are here to answer questions. You are an elderly person. I try my best to give you that respect. I have to do it. And I sit here to do a job and to ask questions. As uncomfortable as it may be, I'll ask you to bear with me and answer the questions. I will tell you my opinion, and I will ask questions. And your job is to answer questions and tell the Commission what your position is. So if you have a difference in position with me, you can tell the Commission what your position is. And let's keep it at that.
I think that's better for all.
Good. So you have written a request for honorarium. You address it to the Office of the Lord Mayor, copied the Chief Executive Officer. Is that correct? And Director of Services, going by that document.
It may be one-off, but normally I will never address a honorarium payment to a known executive.
Now
I think I will add all this as a mistake. I will take it as a mistake on my side.
Yes.
But vividly I know the mayor will always pass anything, even verbal requests. He will tell you, I'm not to be responsible. I ask him, for example, I need additional fuel because I work certain times. He said, go and see the CEO. He's the only person.
Mr. Kani, my line of questioning has nothing to do with the addressee. I'm only making reference to the content of the memo. Whether it is addressed to the CEO or to the mayor or to whosoever in council, my issue is it is a council document, so it is not very relevant whether it's addressed to the mayor or CEO based on my line of questioning now. What I want to put across is the facts on the document as they are. So let me ask you a question. In your subject, what was the subject for? What is the heading? Can you please read the subject?
You have it, don't you?
And I'm now asking you.
Mr. Kanye?
Request for honorarium.
May I proceed, Chair?
Please allow
May I proceed? Okay, please proceed, yeah.
Yes, Mr. Kanye, I think we ought to understand that not we. You ought to understand that you have been asked question. It's because you took up a job with the KMC. And it will do you good and justice if you don't premeditate the questions, because you will help us understand the good heart you had in working for KMC. But if you have the posture of preempting the questions, it doesn't matter. Let me revert back to the issue of the addressee and the addressor. I understand perfectly well that the mayor cannot give you honorarium. He doesn't have the power to give you honorarium, does he?
I've never.
No, I'm just wait.
You are right.
Yeah, just give me time to talk to you. You got to listen to the questions that are being put to you, and you answer the question. It's not what you think we are asking you. You preempt the question and answer the wrong questions. It is not helpful to you because you bring in things that we are not asking you. So listen to the questions and answer the questions as it is put to you. Because we know what the procedure is. And we know you can make mistakes. You understand me? Please answer the question. Council, can you please proceed?
My Honorable Chairperson, allow me to just say that in addressing the Commission, I will be making an application for Mr. Kani to be cited for contempt for refusing to answer questions. If he continues to not answer questions and to be cited for contempt and to be sent for mile 2 for 3-4 days until he wishes to answer questions. I will be making that application if Mr. Kani, for one more time, acts in the manner in which he is doing. May I please proceed, Madam Chairperson?
Can you please proceed?
Yes, thank you. Now, Mr. Kani, can you please read again the subject of the memo?
Request honorarium.
Good. Please read the contents.
As agreed in my contract as a domicile consultant and manager, I write to request for your approval for the payment of my honorarium for this quarter.
Now,
the first quarter.
It says, as agreed in my contract as domicile consultant and manager, I write to request for your approval for the payment of my honorarium for the first quarter 2021. Now the first part where it said, as agreed in my contract as domicile consultant and manager, what does that mean?
At the time of setting the contract, there was a point which I said, if there is no fire for any quarter,
yes,
I should be paid 80,000.
Okay.
But as things were not,
as things were, please proceed.
the finance was not very good. I was asked to reduce it, and that's why I made this.
Is that in writing?
No, or most of it is not written. I don't remember writing it on.
Then, if it is not in writing, how can anyone rely on that statement as being part of your contract? I've asked a question.
What's your question?
If that is not in writing, how can you rely on it as forming part of the contract? Because you have said, as agreed in my contract, which suggests that it is embedded or it is included in your contract that you should be paid an honorarium whenever there are fires at the dump site.
Who will believe it?
Let me rephrase that. You had said, as agreed in my contract as a dump site consultant. But this statement would not be correct because it's not in your contract.
Yes, it will not be correct as it is not in the contract, but that doesn't mean it has not been said.
So that is the issue. If it is said and not agreed upon because it's not in the contract, then it would be an unlawful payment because then you're not entitled to an honorarium every 3 months.
I only make a request, and if it is illegal, It's left to the people paying it to deny it or accept it.
Absolutely, that's true. That is on the side of the paying institution.
Exactly.
But on your side, to drawing up the request and making reference to your contract, that would be wrong. Because, like you've admitted here, that what you are referring to in your contract is a misinformation because it's not in the contract.
I would not see it in that light. I would see it as if some agreements are not written. If they are not written, they will still be valid.
It will still be valid. Now, you had said that the reason for the honorarium for every 3 months would be where there are no fires. So how about where there is fire? Then you will not be entitled.
No.
Good.
A major fire, I will not be, because at the dump site, there is fire every day.
Yes.
Whether I like it or not.
Yes.
A fire that will be great for the entire K.M.C. to come on site and paying all sort of things. It will not.
Let me have that voucher that was given to you. Your activity report seems to suggest that there was no fire for that period. That was why you were paid the $50,000. But let me read it again for clarity. You have an activity report attached to the request. It says activity report from the Bakote dump site, July to September 2021, correct? Every 3 months. From the dump site manager to the director of services, copied is the CEO. It says, and I will read, following my reassignment to the Bakote dump site in January 2021, I and my team undertook a lot of activities geared towards improving the management of the only dump site of the municipality. To this daunting task, the team needs equipment to complement our ideas at the dump site. There is only one caterpillar for dressing of the dump site. The councillor's chief mechanic has been very helpful and instrumental in the upkeep of this machine. His efforts in keeping the machine operational has significantly reduced the cost of hiring machines from private individuals. Now, the second paragraph. During the period under review, there was no fire incident at the dump site. You have said this. So there were no fire incidents at the dump site. That's why you would be entitled for the honorarium.
There was no major.
We don't have major.
Yes, I may not put it on the paper, but
yes,
anybody who knows the dump site would know fire erupts every day, even in summer.
Yes.
But if it is not as big as other fires, which we also know.
Please describe or explain what a major fire incident would be and what a minor fire incident would be.
A minor fire would be distinguished within hours of eruption.
Within hours?
Yes.
And major one?
Will take days or weeks.
Days or weeks?
Yes.
Your first activity report for the $60,000 is 5th May 2021. You said in relation to fire incidents, the second paragraph, that during the period under review, there were 3 separate fire incidents at the dump site, which were quickly and successfully put off. Is that a major or a minor?
That's why it's within an hour.
It's within hours?
Yes, that's not major, because at that time, we have put in place these 20-liter drums, hundreds of them in different sections, so that the fire will not, even the fire get up, it will not be overpowering us.
It would not be?
It will not overpower myself and my staff.
Yes.
So we quickly goes for those drums at different locations, because carrying drums from our office to inside there, the walk to walk there is not like on this floor. It's a very treacherous condition to walk inside the dump site. So we put 20 liters in 6 or 7 locations, not 20 only, but hundreds of 20-liter drums in one place, and put a red flag there. So if there is a fire that come out on the left-hand side,
yes,
we'll rush to the place where these flags are. If it comes from the right-hand side, we go to the right-hand side. The nearest fire point,
yes,
or water point, we use that to put it off. Instead of waiting for fire service before they arrive.
When you have this contract, was there any day that you have any major fire incident?
I think I do have few.
Major?
Yes, major. One.
Which period was that?
I cannot remember.
You cannot remember?
No.
How long did the fire last?
It took about a week before the entire smoke was gone.
So it's a major incident?
It was.
Were you paid for that quota at honorarium?
I don't think so, because I cannot even request.
You can't, how would we know?
I will not put my request, because I know everybody knows that. That is fine.
Was there any period that you were not paid an honorarium?
If it happened, it may be that one.
No. Was there, do you recall whether there was any period that you were not paid?
I cannot remember offhand. But
Were you paid?
I know.
Were you paid through your bank account, or you paid through by cash payment? These honorariums, how do you receive payment?
I think they give me checks.
Checks. How many bank accounts have you? Do you have?
I have only one bank account.
Which bank is that?
I think it's... I don't know the back stand, but it's... It's Trust Bank.
We will request for the details of your bank account.
You did not, but I think I have a copy of my bank account.
Okay.
But I don't know if I can see it, but I have it here.
Yes, please, if you can provide it, we will.
Oh, yeah, thank you. That's it here.
Thank you. We applied to tender the statement of account of the witness, Mustapha from Trust Bank Limited, from 2019, January 2019. To March 2023, April 2023, into evidence as an exhibit.
The bank statement of the witness, Mustapha Kanyi, covering the period 1st of January 2019 through to 26th of May 2023, is hereby admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/KMK/KMC/004.
Ask the commission, please. Now, Mr. Kanyi, you have activity reports that you will submit for you to be paid honorarium. correct?
Yes.
Who writes these activity reports? You?
Yes, because I signed them.
You sign them. Or you ask people to write, or your staff to write for you?
I have no computer at my site, so I ask any of these secretaries or assistants to write it on my behalf, and I will sign them.
And what would this activity report be about?
About what I have done and
within the 3 months.
yes.
And so from January to March, the activities within these 3 months will be documented. And that's what you will send for your honorarium.
I'll just take note of it on my own papers.
And then you develop the activity report.
And when I go there, I tell them, right, or I'll be sitting dictating.
So April, May, June, you'll also have your experiences and the activities for the dump site will also be documented and then sent.
It's not as a document, as notes of my own.
Yes, notes. What I mean document is, it is put in writing, it's typed and it's signed by you, Mustapha.
Yes, yes.
And I want to understand what this activity report would entail. It will just be for the activities for the 3 period. Not for the year, but just for the 3 months.
For the 3 months.
Will they be the same activities?
Most of the time, not different much.
Not different?
Because
why is that?
It's either to put fire on, off, and if there is fire or flooding,
yes,
the difference would be flooding fire.
Fire. We have your activity report, the ones you have sent for the $50,000 and the $6,000. They are just one and the same.
Yes, that's why I said.
Why would they be the same? The periods are different.
Yeah, but the activities or the activities on land will be the same.
Even the wordings are the same.
Yes, the fire will be the same.
So literally, you had copied from previous activity reports.
Yes.
And every 3 months you will send the same activity report and you will be paid.
Yes, if I can remember. There will be only a different if there is a major flooding.
Yes. So, for instance, you have your activity report. It says activity report from the backward dump site, July to September 2021. It says the following my assignment to the backward dump site in January 2021. I and my team undertook a lot of activity geared towards improving the management of the only dump site of the municipality. To do this daunting task, the team needs equipment to complement our ideas at the dump site. There's only one caterpillar for dressing at the site. The council's chief mechanic has been very helpful and instrumental in the upkeep of this machine. His efforts in keeping the machine operational has significantly reduced the cost of hiring machines from private individuals. Now, during the period under review, there was no fire incident at the dump site, unlike the first period. Finally, I would want to seize this opportunity to sincerely thank all the staff working under me at the dump site, ranging from security, servicemen, and mechanic staff for their commitment, hard work, dedication, and loyalty. It has another section that says challenges. The management of the dump site is, of course, a tedious job which attracts a lot of challenges. However, due to the BMZ project, many of these challenges have been addressed. These two most pressing challenges I face at the dump site are as follows: shortage of staff motivation. Now, these words, even though you did not go in detail in relation to these challenges, but these words are exactly what you are using. The same template is just a copy and paste. For every time you have to be paid honorarium, you print it. It's been printed out word for word and sent to council, and council pay word for word. So the activity of 3 months remains to be the activity for the whole year. Is that it?
It can happen.
That cannot happen.
It can.
No,
if the staffs are hardworking,
yes,
and obedient and responsible,
yes,
and the tension there is workable and amicable,
yes,
it can be 1 year, it can be 6 months, it can be 2 years.
So nothing changes. Even the challenges, they remain the same.
Yes.
Even the recommendation remains the same. For the entire year, your challenges are the same, your recommendations are the same, your activity is the same for the entire year?
Council, with due respect, yes. And I cannot fault or report things that I don't know have changed. If I understand what I am doing, they were all the same. Nobody was killed.
Yes.
No major fire.
Yes.
Those are my most important concern.
Yes.
All the rules are being obeyed. The challenges, even if I repeat and say different challenges, I will go back to them and tell them. It's just a formula, or a way of just expressing and putting it on a paper.
So
but to me, there is a lot of things that goes day to day, which I address, and no need to report them.
Then there is no need for this activity report.
That's why it doesn't concern me much.
Yes, but it should concern you, Mr. Kani, because this activity report and your request is what is used to pay you a lot of money for the honorarium.
I agree that may be used, but the underlying fact is not actually this paper report. The underlying fact is the result in the ground, on the ground.
Yes, but do we have the facts documented as the result on the ground? Do we have those facts?
Council, I think you don't understand.
Let me ask again.
Let me finish.
Hear me out. You listen to me. Do you have those results? Let's say, for instance, at the end of the year, that this is your report detailing your achievements as you have experienced on the ground. Do you have any documental effect?
I do not.
Then we proceed to other issues. Aside from the honorarium that you have been paid every 3 months, you said, you had told the commission that you could not recall whether there were any quarter that you were not paid this honorarium, correct? Correct?
Yes.
Now, is that honorarium for you or for your entire staff? Or for the people that work in the dump site?
I cannot remember for my entire staff.
You cannot remember?
No.
So it is correct to say the money that is paid to you as honorarium is for you?
It's for me.
Okay. And the others are paid honorarium as well? The people that work in the dump site for?
They are paid different things, but as far as I know,
yes,
I request my honorarium because that's the time, even though it is verbal, it has been agreed.
Even though it is verbal, it has been agreed?
Yes.
So it will be fair to say that for every quarter, you are paid twice. Would that be fair?
No, I don't think so.
For every quarter, you are paid $80,000. Then you are given an honorarium of either $50,000 or $60,000. So let me just go by the $50,000.
Good.
That's $130,000 for every quarter.
Yes.
That's your take home.
Yes.
That's literally what you are paid. Because if you look at it cumulatively, and we just go by your appointment on contract, it says 80,000. But dividing that, adding the honorarium for every 3 months, it goes to $130,000 that you're paid for every
your
contract.
Yes. I think
even though the honorarium is not agreed on paper.
That may be the case, but I think
is that the case?
What?
You said that may be the case. I'm asking whether that is the case. It is not on paper. It's not agreed on paper.
I cannot remember fully whether it's written in one of the papers.
You had told the commission earlier that it's not documented.
I agree. I am saying,
yes,
one time it was agreed. Whether it's on the paper or not, I don't.
No,
but I've been agreeing with them on that.
Now I can show you your appointment on contract.
No, I've seen that.
Just to be clear, facts are important.
Of course.
Just to be clear, I will ask that you be given your appointment on contract. You may refresh your mind, and that will help you to come with a definitive answer as to whether it is in your contract or not.
It's not on this, but this is 2021.
I have 2020.
Do you have this initial contract?
Yes, let me see whether I can access the 2020. Maybe it will be there. But the bottom line, Mr. Khan, is that for all your appointments on contract, it did not talk about honorarium.
I agree with you. So it was not agreed, but
yes.
things get developed from one point to another.
Okay.
And that development may result into that. I agree, I don't even remember the honorarium at the first time. I don't know about it. But as time goes on, you learn to know so many other things, and you also apply for it.
Now, the last issue for today, from our end, would be, why would you be paid $1,500 for telephone allowance when you already have $15,000 for telephone allowance? Is there any reason?
There may be a reason. A special job was given to me. I cannot
There
remember.
may be a reason as to?
Yes, a special job, special assignment, which I felt I have consumed a lot of telephone call.
Yes.
I.e., I was requesting for the receiving of or getting some used tractors, 7 tractors from the commission, and I have to be traveling to the provinces, different places, collecting these tractors, putting them, and making all those things. Maybe that's one of them.
Okay.
Maybe it's my assignment also to K.M.C when I was reconciling with them on K.M.C's fuel intake and their rates and rents or whatever, license, reconciliation. I spend huge amount of my time with TK Motors, private individual, which I wouldn't name, and...
But you don't know why you were given this telephone allowance of 1.5?
No,
You don't know.
I may request it. I don't know what did I use at the time.
No, may is not a very definitive answer. Now, I'm now asking you whether you know why, with certainty, why you were receiving 2.
I wouldn't know in certainty.
You don't know why you have
By
these 2
certainty,
allowances.
yes.
But you know that there are 2 telephone allowances, one for $15,000, one for $1,500 every month, but you don't know why.
Yes.
Madam Chairperson, I believe this on our side will be a convenient point for Mr. Kani. Unless there are questions.
Yes, I just have one question. Mr. Kani, for the staff at the dump site, the staff you use at the dump site, is it staff you employed independent of the staff of the K.M.C?
No, they are K.M.C staffs.
They are K.M.C staff. So, but you supervise them?
I supervise them.
You supervise them. So, my last question would be, on the issue of the allowances, given the fact that you have told us the dump site is very risky, did you negotiate for them to be paid at least some substantial amount to be able to, for instance, for them to be able to take care of their health when the circumstance arise?
I tried it in 2 different ways. Because we work with the SOS,
Yes.
I personally went to SOS and request that if in case anyone got hurt in the dump site, either by bottle, nail, or anything, fire, can we bring them to the nearest hospital, which is the Bakote
Yes.
hospital?
Did you reduce this into a writing so that it
No,
will be
I went
permanent,
there.
even if you leave, that they can enjoy that kind of facility?
No, I did not even get it, but I
you
request.
think it is important to write? Do you think it is important
Of course,
to
it's
write?
important to write.
Yeah.
But that is one side. It's very important to write. But I like going there physically.
So, having known that now it is important to write, if you go back, would you write to have this documented so that in the event, you understand, you retire, you know,
Presently.
that arrangement and transaction will be there for the beneficial interest of the employees. That are
Even
adopted.
though I am not working now for K.M.C, but hearing this, I would go back and talk to the relevant people to try and put it in writing. The second phase of it, there was no dorm site allowance given to anybody at the dorm site before. I request mine and a request for the entire staff. I request the same amount, but unfortunately, that was not done. But something was done.
Yes,
Each and
but
every one have a dorm site.
my take is that the health issue of the people working there is supposed to be the business of any manager that is there, for that to be secured.
I agree, and I will
So
tell.
please write that down so that you will not forget. That
No,
you
I will not
take-
forget, because every day, as you have seen this, anytime I go to England for my own treatment, I'll buy any first-hand, first aid box of my own, out of my own money.
Yes, but you see, the reason why I'm telling you to write so that we will not forget is because, you know, you are doing this, but do you have any guarantee that somebody coming to do the work next will be able to do that?
Well,
You cannot guarantee that.
I
Is that not
cannot.
correct?
no.
Is that not correct? Yes, so please write it so that you will not forget.
Okay.
Thank you. We may rise.
The winners will come back on Monday.
Yes. So, Mr. Kanye, we will see you on Monday
Thank you.
to finish up all.